Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Encinosa, founder of Boyette Animal Hospital. I want to introduce you to my old man, Jack. Jack is, although I wouldn't tell all the other cats this, Jack has been our favorite cat of all time. He is just Mr. Cool. We acquired him a long time ago when we were vacationing in Tennessee, and it was very cold November. Jack befriended us, and we asked around. Nobody seemed to know who he was or who he belonged to. So he came home with us. He was a young adult about that time, probably 1 or 2 years old, and that was 17 years ago. So Jack is 18, 19 years is our best guess. And Jack is kind of the quintessential example of an old cat. And old cats have very specific problems. You'll notice if you have a cat that's 14, 15 years old, you will see them starting to lose weight, just like old people do when they reach senior citizenship. When it starts happening when they're 9 or 10 or 11 or even 12, there's probably a different problem rather than just old age. And that's kind of what happened with Jack. Around the time he was about 10 years old, he started losing weight very rapidly. So I checked him out. We tested him. He turned out to be very hyperthyroid. His thyroid gland was way overproducing thyroid hormone. Ultimately, we ended up doing a radioiodine treatment on him with help from our friends down at Ruskin Animal Hospital, who, by the way, have been doing radioiodine treatments longer than anybody in the state of Florida, even longer than the University of Florida. And it worked great. Jack put his weight back on, his heart rate slowed down, he got healthy again. We didn't have the risk of him going into heart failure, which is often the case with thyroid disease. And he plugged along again for another 7, 8 years. Now, Jack's problem is the other common problem we see with old senior cats, and that's chronic kidney disease. Chronic kidney disease is not where kidneys fail and stop producing urine at all. In fact, quite the contrary. The kidney filtering units become much, much less efficient. And their job is to try to put as much waste as they can in a small amount of water. Cats actually evolved to be desert animals, so they drink relatively little compared to other mammals. But when this starts happening, when their kidneys become damaged, they lose that ability to be very efficient. So they drink lots and lots of water and they urinate lots and lots. Sometimes it's mistaken that whenever they've urinated on the floor, you assume someone spilled water because the urine is just so non-concentrated. That's how they make up for trying to get all this waste material out of their system with poorly functioning kidneys. So chronic kidney disease or chronic renal failure is actually, that's exactly what you'll see, is that they start drinking a lot of water. Eventually they lose their appetite, they lose a lot of weight, and you have to deal with the aftermath of it. Unfortunately, there's not a great cure for chronic kidney disease like there is with thyroid disease. However, with the use of diets and appetite stimulants and some other things, and trying to use little tricks at home to increase their water consumption, they can do quite well. And we've been dealing with this with Jack for several years now. So if you have a cat that's 10 or 11 years old that's suddenly losing weight, don't write it off as just being old. There's probably a problem that we can address. I expect cats to live to be 17, 18 years old, sometimes 19. Oldest cat I ever saw actually turned 25 before I did, whenever I first graduated from vet school. I didn't believe the clients, but they brought the medical records in the next time to prove it to me. So cats can live a very long time. If you happen to be visiting our new addition to the clinic, take a look down the hallway as you head towards the exam room. You'll see a hallway of famous paintings that have been slightly altered with a particularly good-looking black cat's face in it. That hallway was inspired by my favorite cat, Jack.